All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and great glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachad Qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and salutations to the elect pushing this truth to the four corners of the earth in truth and in sincerity. All right, in this particular video, I want to touch on the talks that's going on right now between the United States and Iran. They're trying to make a nuclear deal 2.0, basically. And it's because Iran, in about 2 weeks, they can have a nuclear weapon at their disposal. And United States and Israel does not want that to happen because Iran is a place that chants death to America and death to Israel. They call America Big Satan and Israel Little Satan, and they talk about Israel disappearing off of the earth. All right. So they don't want them to have a nuclear weapon because they're gonna use them. So right now they're trying to make a deal. And if they don't reach a deal, then Israel and the United States are going to join together and do an attack on Iran's nuclear facilities. All right, so they try and come to a deal right now. And these talks are going terrible. All right, you have them threatening each other on both sides. Really, United States making moves and posturing like, if you don't make this deal, then we're going to fuck you up. And Iran is saying, we're not scared of you. So, hey, this deal was really dead on arrival, man, because both sides have red lines. America's red line is what? Iran cannot enrich uranium. Slovakia. And Iran's red line is they can talk about how much uranium they can enrich, but they're not getting rid of their program to enrich uranium. They're not getting rid of their nuclear program. So that's out of the question. So despite them saying that the talks is going good on the news or whatever, you got patience wearing thin. You have Trump coming out and saying what? Iran needs to move quickly on a nuclear deal or something bad is going to happen. All right? So, two things I can see happening out of this whole thing. United States and Iran come to a deal, and it still gives Iran the ability to enrich uranium, and then Israel saying, hell no, and them striking Iran, because that's what Israel is saying. If they don't get rid of their nuclear program and detonate or blow up their nuclear sites, then they're not taking this deal, and they're going to strike Iran. So it's two things I believe that can happen. They come to a deal, and then Israel saying, hell no, and then strike anyway. Iran says the day for tit and tat is over. You hit them, they're going to hit back 10 times harder, or 10 more times. Israel gets bombed, with a devastating strike, and America has to get into it to protect Israel. Or, that was way number one. That's neither here nor there, though. This is just, me speaking my mind. Or there could be no deal reached. And then they just join together and they strike Iran. And then Iran strikes Israel back, and then boom. The war starts, because also you have Russia warning that there better not be any strikes towards Iran's nuclear facilities, man, or there's going to be consequences in the Middle East. Also, China came out and said if America moves in the Middle East, then it's going to back Iran up. You see? So, hey, that's how detrimental these talks are, man. Shit can spiral out of control real quick. Iran got sleeper cells over here in the United States, which they've been given a warning on that for a minute. Hey, come on, man. We in some exciting times right here. These talks are very important. This is something we should be keeping an eye on, this whole Iran nuclear deal 2.0. So, hey, they're not going good. So let's play it. If I have to stop, I'll play the rest of it in the car. I got to hop on the plantation in a little bit. All right.
And welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. I'm Andrew Kraft. So we want to round out this hour with some international headlines, including between the United States and Iran here. I want to put up this tweet from our colleague, Lucas Tomlinson, traveling with the president, saying that aboard Air Force One, Trump confirmed the United States has given Iran a proposal for a nuclear deal. Trump saying this, quote, They have a proposal, but more importantly, they know they have to move quickly or something bad is going to happen. Fox's Rebecca Castor with more details.
President Donald Trump is on his way home after a historic trip to the Middle East, filled with lavish receptions, royal camels, and multi-billion-dollar investments in U.S. business ventures.
Somebody's going to be taking the credit for this. You remember, press. This guy did it.
The president is reveling in the wins from his first major overseas trip of his second term, but his progress goes beyond the Arabian Peninsula. Trump also confirmed the U.S. sent Iran a proposed nuclear deal, a major step forward as the White House aims to stop Tehran from developing a nuclear weapon.
They have a proposal, but more importantly, they know they have to move quickly, or something bad's going to happen.
I really hope that Iran looks at the approach of President Trump in such an opening of the United States towards the Iranian people, which could be very much beneficial for the Iranians, but it's for the Iranian people to make.
According to the United Nations nuclear watchdog, Iran's stockpile of 60% enriched uranium has alarmingly grown from 401 pounds to 606 pounds this year.
If they stockpile enough of that 60% enriched, they could very quickly turn it into 90 and weaponize it. That's the danger we face right now. That's the urgency here.
Trump says Iran has, quote, sort of agreed to the terms. If a deal is reached, the president plans to lift all sanctions on the country. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Rebecca, thanks so much. In the meantime here, I want to bring into the conversation our friend and colleague there at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies, Ben.
You see, they're not going good, despite what the news was saying. Oh, the talks are going good. They believe that they can reach a deal, so forth and so on. No. They have red lines. Deal breakers. The deal breaker is what? It's no deal if you mention this. If you want me to stop enriching uranium completely, that's a deal breaker. We have no deal. They are talking about the deal breakers. That's what United States wants. There's going to be no deal. Then you got Israel on the other side. The deal breaker is if they have a nuclear program. Still, at the end of this deal, they're going to strike anyway. 3 weeks ago, Israel was planning on striking Iran, and the United States had to stop them. They was going to strike them, even though they was negotiating. They'll let you know how hot this is, man. Come on.
I'm Ben Blue. He joins me. Ben, I'm good to see you here. I know you've been following this pretty closely. When Trump said that today on Air Force One, what was your reaction?
Great to be back with you, Andrew. Listen, this is part of the strategy we saw from Trump term one, so I wasn't particularly surprised. But not particularly surprised in that the whole art of the deal for the president has been to put the regime to the choice, to really pick between its economy and having a nuclear weapons program. The challenge is the regime has been exploiting this gray zone of neither peace nor war, which is really why the operative word in the president's comment and later tweet or statement on social media was quickly. Previously, it was reported that the president had given the Iranians a 2-month timeline. I think we're well beyond that now if you count from March to May. But the president certainly has his eyes, I think, set rightly on the summer, because that's probably by the time when U.S. partners and allies like France, Germany, and UK would have to begin the process of snapping back UN sanctions if that was something they were going to meaningfully do.
So, Benham, the Associated Press notes this, that at nearly every event he attended over the last 4 days in the region, Trump insisted Iran could not be allowed to obtain a nuclear bomb. But in the deal that's right now on the table, there is some uranium enrichment capacity that is allowed for here. So many of the critics of these negotiations going on right now say this is just the Iran nuclear deal 2.0. This is just the JCPOA. Do you ascribe to that view? Is this the same deal?
Well, there's a very critical...
Well, I'm going to tell you this. Even if they make a deal, Israel's not going for it. They don't want Iran to have capability to enrich any uranium, or they're going to strike. So, hey, there you go. They could very well make a deal. All right. Oh, you see on the news, Trump did it again. The art of the deal the United States and Iran nuclear deal. They have done it. And then a couple days go by, Benjamin Netanyahu voices his disapproval on the internet, and then goes ahead and bombs the shit out of Iran. Iran strike them back, because if Israel and Iran go to war, like go toe to toe with each other, Israel lose, like overnight. So United States is going to have to come into the battle. Hence, the least of the flock shall draw them out. I'll break it down again. Who's the least of the flock? That's Jeremiah 50:45. Who's the least of the flock? That's Amalek, them small hats. Draw them out. Who's the them? That's America. Out to what? To world war. So you got the least of the flock, or draw them out to the battle. The battle of Armageddon, man. Hey. With that, let's play the rest of this. Then I'm exit it. I'm pretty sure the point was made that these talks are going terrible.
There, because Andrew, we technically don't know that which the U.S. has actually put forward with respect to its proposal towards the Islamic Republic of Iran. And if it's anything looking like the statements by, well, in the past, former National Security Advisor Waltz, current Secretary of Defense Hegseth, President Trump himself, Secretary of State Rubio himself, as well as now over 100 plus senators and congressmen, well, then it's supposed to be about no enrichment or reprocessing on Iranian soil. So there's certainly been a crescendo of increasingly more hardline, dare I say, maximalist, but really I would say realistic, when you look at the Iranian nuclear threat and the Iranian security challenge, desired end states there. So I'm not as certain that what the president is putting on the table is JCPOA 2.0, but if it all is what the Iranians want it to be, or if it all does permit, even at the lowest of levels, dare I say 3.67% uranium enrichment on Iranian soil, or merely defers or delays that, but locks that in, then I do fear that we would be just on course again for JCPOA 2.0. And listen, that's something President Trump should be seeking to avoid, because then the Iranians would have the political upper hand here, saying, we forced the same person who left the 2015 deal in 2018 back into a same or worse deal in 2025.
Wow. Trump, though, did not elaborate on the substance of the proposal. Iran did not immediately acknowledge having it. That's a sticking point, is it not? I mean, what are the Iranians saying after Trump said this today? Are they going to get the proposal? Do they have it?
Well, very recently, Iran's foreign minister took to X or Twitter to actually deny the fact that they had even received a proposal. So one wonders if this is something that the president had sent while he was in some of the Arab states of the Persian Gulf, or if this was an addendum to round 4 that had already lapsed. In Oman, round 5 has been promised, but neither side has agreed to a time or date yet. So there's still a lot more that leaves, there's still a lot more room for questioning, dare I say, when it comes to even where and when the U.S. and Iran will negotiate over this alleged, U.S. proposal.
Ben, while we have you, I think we'd be remiss if we didn't kind of recap the president's trip there to the Middle East. He is literally in the air right now on his way back to D.C. He went to Saudi Arabia.
Right. That's the point, that these talks aren't going good right now. So this is just something to keep your eye on. If these talks don't go well, it can spiral into war very fast. And don't forget, the MOTB has to be implemented in a big way before World War III really pops off. So, if we're this close to World War III, how much closer are we to the MOTB? You see? So, hope it was edifying. Hope you could take something from this. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.